Get ready with me while I talk to you guys about all of the reverse culture shocks I have been experiencing back home in the United States after being abroad for 5 years. So I thought this would be a very cool opportunity to share an updated skincare routine because you guys know I love Japanese beauty and skincare products. Right now I'm slathering my face with the SOFTY Speedy Cleansing Oil. This is by KOSAS. It's my favorite cleansing oil. The main reason I started using the SOFTY Cleansing Oil was to get rid of my makeup and sunscreen from the day, and I love this one because it's not scented. This is the one that I send back to all my family and friends. Also, shaving my face. This is a really great way to exfoliate your skin and also get rid of a lot of peach fuzz. You can get a lot of these products I'm talking about today from Don Quijote or any of the grocery stores that you may go into, or even any drugstores. Such a gross amount of peach fuzz off of my face. You have to be really careful if you've never done this before because you can cut yourself. I don't know if you guys have been following me for a long time, but I did it on Instagram stories years ago and I literally cut off half of my eyebrow. So please be careful. I just went and rinsed that off really quickly. I am obsessed with that. So the very first culture shock that my husband and I experienced when we first landed was in LAX when we bought one bagel, 2 sparkling waters, and a milk for our son, and it was $20 US. I posted that on my Instagram stories and everybody was like, yep, that sounds like airport prices. And then I was like, why are we giving airports an excuse to charge that much for things? Because in Japan, when you're at the airport, things are not upcharged like that. Everything here is so much more expensive than I remember. We went to Chipotle and my husband and I got 2 burrito bowls, a lunch item for my son, 2 sodas, a bag of chips, and it was like $43 US. We also went to Chick-fil-A and that cost us like $30 or $40, which I was just like, what happened to when things were like less expensive? My skin just feels so soft right now. I'm so glad that I shaved all that ish off. I brought my favorite travel shampoo, conditioner, and hair oil with me. The brand is called Thalasso 8, and I also got that at Don Quijote as well as my favorite wet brush. But I saw these here for like $15, and I think I got my hairbrush there for $8. Thalasso 8. I also really like their hair mask. It's amazing. It smells so good and it's really, really moisturizing. And I also really like their hair oils. My in-laws took us to a store called Shields here in Colorado, and I had no idea what it was. We went because we were looking for like some running shoes that they don't sell in Japan. I was looking for a lightweight travel water bottle for myself. And I was really shocked. The gasp I gasped when I turned a corner and I saw an entire section of rifles, guns, bow and arrows, and a bunch of hunting equipment. On top of that, when we were going inside, my mother-in-law was like, I'll take the baby and we'll go look at the animals. And I was like, oh, the stuffed animals? She was like, not the ones you're thinking about. They literally have huge stuffed animals, like dead animals stuffed in the hunting section. And that is just really something I am not used to seeing anymore in Japan. They have really strict gun laws there. I don't know. It was just like really shocking. I'm from North Carolina, so I grew up knowing about Bass Pro Shop and all of these hunting stores, right? But I honestly just forgot about most of it. Like I forgot that you can just go to a store and buy hunting stuff. Like I saw a man walking through the parking lot carrying a bow and arrow, and I was like, sir, this is so scary. The other thing that was throwing me off is I was seeing dogs inside for the very first time. And I know that emotional support animals are still very much a thing in the United States. And I like love that. Like I have a dog and he was registered as my emotional support animal in California when we lived there. But in Japan, they don't have emotional support animals. It's more like support animals for physical disabilities, so you never see dogs inside places. If you do, it's probably like a teeny tiny dog in like a bag, but for the most part they're considered unsanitary. But yeah, it kind of like really weirded me out when I saw a dog inside for the first time. I was like, oh my gosh, like I wanted to take a picture of them. They were just like on a leash walking around. Something else that I've missed about the United States was how friendly everybody is. Like I forget that you can just walk down the street and just like smile at people and strangers strangers and be like, hi, like give a little head nod. And when I posted that on my Instagram stories, people were like, do you not do that in Japan? And I was like, no. Striking up random conversations with strangers and like asking how people are doing, whether it is from a warm place and you genuinely mean it, or if like you're just having small talk for no reason. In Japan, it would like freak somebody out. You'd be like, why are you talking to me? Like you would think somebody would have an ulterior motive, but in the States it's so friendly. Like you just smile at people. It did kind of freak me out at first because there's just a lot of eye contact here, a lot more eye contact than I'm used to. You know, in Japan, like you might make eye contact with somebody, but you would quickly look away like it was almost an accident. But here you like can look at somebody and like hold the eye contact and even smile, and you know, like the whole like one. It's just something that I've like didn't know that I missed. Next, we are putting on my absolute favorite freaking face mask. I have been buying these products. Look, I literally came with a bunch of them because I knew I was going to be here for a while, and I've been using these for such a long time. I had recently spent 70 or 80 US dollars buying bags of these to send home to family and friends, and I got an email from them to work together, and I was like, I was literally already going to talk about you. So today's sponsor is Quality First, specifically the gold bag, the Derma Laser Super VC 100. I got this at Don Quijote, but you can get this at like pretty much any drugstore or supermarket, and it's my favorite face mask right now. The wettest face mask I've ever used. It's been saving my skin here in Colorado with this dryness. It focuses on your pores and hydration. It is only 770 yen for the bag of 7, which is like $4 right now. I'm telling you, this is a drugstore sheet mask, but you would never guess. You want to make sure you are pressing the product into your skin like this. As I put it in the microwave, so it really penetrates my skin. And I love just bringing the product down onto my neck and then even my décolletage, especially at night, and then putting the product on the back of my hands. It contains 4 different types of vitamin C, and vitamin C is really great for building collagen. This face mask is Japan's holy grail. It is the #1 seller in Japan. It has so many different awards right now. Won first place in LDK magazine, won first place at the Cosme Best Cosmetics Award for 2023 as the best-selling sheet mask. It's the #1 sheet mask selling at Don Quijote. I think that you can tell that the face mask itself, it's like a textile because it has long fiber cotton in it, so it's really durable. It smells citrusy like a yuzu, but it doesn't have any artificial fragrances in it. It has lecithin, which I think I'm saying wrong, which really helps with skin absorption and really helps the serum also penetrate into your skin. There's niacinamide, which is one of my favorite skincare products. So it helps target fine lines and wrinkles, shrinking pores, brightening. If there is one skincare product that you should be buying in Japan, go to Don Quijote and get this face mask because it is just amazing. It is my #1 choice as your Japanese skincare and beauty souvenir. You will not regret it. If you want to read more about the product itself, you can click the link in the description. There's a lot of great articles about it, and yeah, just trust me on this one. But yeah, so here's my skin. Some of the serum is still sinking in, but she's glowing. So now I'm gonna go in with the rest of my skincare and makeup routine. What is on my face? CNP Laboratory facial spray. It's like a hydrating mist. I love this stuff so much. It's a Korean brand, but my face just soaks in all the serums and toners better when it's a little wet. And my first toner is the MediHeal Milk Brightening Toner. This is an LNP Cosmetic Korean brand. I'm loving this stuff. I also got this at Donki. But anyway, just put it in your hand and we're gonna press that baby in. So other things that have been a culture shock to me are American flags everywhere. I just forget that we just love to put those things all over the place. And I had a few people message me from like London and the UK. They're like, oh yeah, when I went to America, I noticed that too. And I was like, okay, but listen, you guys in London will literally put your flag on anything. You'll turn anything to a flag. I'm just really not used to seeing flags like in front of people's homes. There's a lot of flags in the States that they're always in front of government buildings, right? And same in Japan, but people don't hide. People don't hang Japan's flag in front of their home. So that is just such a funny thing to me. I also can't get over how big the vehicles and everything else is here. Going in with my Hada Bise Brightening Facial Serum. This is a Japanese brand and I also got this at Donki. But yeah, everything here is just so much bigger. A lot of the things that I missed is I love like how big the houses are. Just having like space, because our home in Japan, it's just like everything's tiny. Like there's not a lot of space to build homes and build houses. So everything's just small and compact, including like the yards and the gardens, where here everything is huge. The houses are huge, the cars are huge, the roads are huge, the buildings are huge, the parking lots are huge. Everything is just so freaking big. It's like crazy. Favorite things that are big are the vehicles and the appliances though. That has been like my favorite thing ever. Like the fact that I can just do loads of laundry in just a few hours, not even like an hour and a half, is amazing. Yes, I am using a children's pizza flipper as my thing because I have a toddler and I can't find my fan. Digress. We were doing laundry here at my in-laws, and the size of the load of the laundry that my in-laws washing machine does in 45 minutes would take me a day and a half to do at home, or I would have to go to a laundromat. So I've really missed big appliances. I've missed big refrigerator, big oven, just everything's huge. So it's great. 2 different eye serums I'm going with. I'm going to go in with the Décolleté eye serum first, and then I can't say this one, but this is what it looks like. I'm gonna go in with this one second because we're gonna do lightest to thickest, or thinnest to thickest. Other things that have been really interesting for me to re-experience again are commercials. Commercials in Japan are just very different from the ones here. Also just the type of commercial and like what they're doing advertisements for. They do advertisements for products, but they're just it's just a lot happening in Japanese commercials. I don't know if you guys have ever watched Japanese television, but there's just a lot of text on the screen, and it's just very like happening very, very fast, like the cuts and the edits, the tempo. Here it's like a little bit slower paced most of the time, and then the type of commercials are just very interesting too. So I'm not used to seeing medical commercials anymore. I forget how many commercials we run on our television that are for medicine or to go see a doctor to get prescribed for things. That was really throwing me off. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. It was just very interesting. And the other thing I see a lot of commercials for are lawyers. You're suing somebody, or if you are getting sued, we just have so many commercials about where to find your local lawyer. In the States, I think it's kind of a known thing that we're very sue happy. Like we will just sue people. Yeah, I thought that just kind of like caught me off guard seeing commercials for that. I don't know. I also saw commercials for shooting ranges and like where to go buy guns, and I was just like, that's just such a wild concept since I've been so far removed from it for such a long time. Like, yeah. When my skin is feeling really dry, this is the one that I brought with me from Japan. So I've been using this as my nighttime cream. It is really thick, so if you don't like a thick consistency, you're not going to like it. But I also just got that at the drugstore. I think I might just put a little bit on just because I have it. Before Sephora stopped shipping to Japan, I always loved Youth to the People. So I actually went to Sephora and picked this up, and I'm so happy about it because their face creams are just so amazing. Cannot even describe to you how much I love their stuff. The scent is amazing. The quality of the product is great. This is the kale and spinach hyaluronic acid superfood air whip moisture cream. It is so great. I also really like the ashwagandha one, but I only got this one on this trip. I might go pick up another one before I leave. But speaking of that, we can go ahead and talk about like my shopping experiences here. We went to the mall, and I was so overwhelmed by all of the new stores. It was like, I didn't even want to shop. I don't know if anybody else can relate to that. The only thing I guess I could relate it to is like when you guys come to Japan, that must be how you guys feel, like not recognizing a lot of the brands or realizing that so many of these stores have storefronts now. I didn't even want to go into any of the stores. When I did go into Sephora, I was in there for probably an hour and a half and almost didn't buy stuff because I was so overwhelmed. I literally did not recognize 80% of the store because 5 years ago, it was a totally different vibe. I love the new brands that are there because a lot of them are more about diversity and exclusivity and offering like a wider range of colors. A lot of the newer brands focus on skincare versus makeup or blending the two. They also, you know, focus a lot on what us as customers are looking for. So the direction Sephora has gone into is so much better. Like, I'm happy about it, but I was just so overwhelmed. Like, I didn't know what to get or anything. So I kind of went back to some of my favorites, which I'll share here in a few minutes. But yeah, it was just like the overstimulation of new brands. You know, a lot of things can change in 5 years, but when you sprinkle into the recipe that COVID also happened, I think that even more changed within 5 years from the last time I was there. So I think it's normal to expect change, but it's just kind of been overwhelming and a lot. So we actually did not do a ton of shopping because yeah, it was just a lot. This is my neck cream. It has a giraffe. I like it and it smells good. Does it necessarily work? I don't know, but I thought the packaging was really clever. I also just got this at the, I think Donkey or another store, but it's called Harry Premium Neck Cream. I just thought it was really funny. So another thing that was really surprising to me that I forgot about, and I don't know if it's just because the area that we're in or what, but there's so many churches. Wild to see so many of them, and I don't know if it's the same thing, and maybe I'm just looking at it through a different set of eyes because I've been in Japan and we have not me, but we as in like Japan has temples and shrines, and I don't know if it's the difference because temples and shrines are so old. Like some of them are like hundreds of years old, but here the churches are like new. They kind of look like a shopping center to me, and I'm from North Carolina, so I'm also used to kind of like older looking churches or Catholic looking churches, Baptist churches, but here they just look like mega churches and they just look like office buildings. That's like maybe the better way to say it. And that's just not anything I'm used to like anymore at all. So we'll be driving and you'll just see like a few churches right next to each other, but again, they kind of look like office buildings. It's like, wow, there's so many churches here, which also reminds me about American shopping center core. That is such a wild thing now that I've also been removed from that. It's just so weird to be driving around and there's just like these strip shopping centers, and so sometimes the strip shopping center will have like a lot of different stores in it. Also sometimes there'll be like a lot of standalone chain businesses, so whether it's like a Texas Roadhouse, a Dunkin' Donuts, Jimmy John's, and something else, they'll all be, it's like one big parking lot. They'll have their own separate parking lots and separate corners. It's like kind of strange and it's very ugly, to be honest, and it doesn't feel like a very convenient and conducive lifestyle, like to get errands done and things like that. And I don't know if that's just because the area we're in, but that's just kind of like weird to me. Like if we want to go do a few things or run a few errands, we kind of have to get in the car, drive somewhere else, drive 5 minutes here, drive 5 minutes there, drive 20 minutes over there. It's just like weird. And just Americana core strip mall, it's not cute. And the places feel very stale. Like, what's going on? I have now finished the skincare portion, so I'm gonna let it sink in just a little bit, but I love when my skin just looks like a boiled egg. And if you guys have been following me for a while, then you guys know like that's always my goal, like boiled egg vibes. I learned that from my friend in Japan when I was like, what's the goal of like Japanese skincare? She's like, you want your skin to look bouncy and shiny, just like a freshly peeled boiled egg. And I always say if you have really great skincare, you need a lot less makeup. It helps your makeup lay just so much better, and that's always my goal. I also wanted to quickly share this Biotin Squalene Vitamin C Rose Oil. I've been using this for like 7 years, okay? Sometimes I will mix this in with my moisturizer before on like when my skin's really dry, and I love using it also as like a mask almost at night. I just slather it all over my face and do it like an hour before bed so it has time to sink in, but it doesn't leave a greasy residue or anything like that. And this will like really give you that bouncy look on your skin that we're all kind of looking for. These are the 3 sunscreens that I've been bouncing between. This is a children's sunscreen. This is the one that I use on my son. So if it's gentle enough for him, it's gentle enough for me. And I just love that it's not sticky, no weird residue or anything like that. So it's the UV Aqua Milk. I need something to protect my skin a lot more, which is what I'm going to be using today. I picked this up. This has always been my favorite. Any of the Supergroup mineral sunscreens, they're so good. I love that it makes my pores look smaller but still gives me vibrancy. So that's what I'm going to put on right now. I'm so happy to have this back in my hands. Whenever I have to reapply sunscreen, this is the one that I use. My friend brought this back to me from Korea. It kind of just looks like a deodorant stick. This is by Beauty of Joseon, which all of their products have like really crazy great reviews. But yeah, you just put it on your skin like this and it can go over your makeup. Another culture shock that I have had to get used to was driving on the right side of the road. In Japan, we drive on the left. I've not driven on the right side of the road in over 5 years. So that was like a lot for me at first, but it actually picked up. Look how crazy I look. I actually picked it up a lot faster than I thought that I would. There are a few moments of like vertigo that I'll get. Why is this sticking to my face? But I've noticed more consistently that I will go and stand on the left side of things instead of the right side. And then I feel like I'm a rude person because I accidentally did that and didn't mean to. Because people will look at me weird, like if I'm trying to like walk down the aisle of the grocery store or shopping, or I'm even just walking like, I don't know, like normal. Doing things on the right side instead of the left side has kind of thrown me off just a little bit. I think I put a little too much sunscreen on, so I'm gonna just keep rubbing until it goes in. I also wanted to remind you guys that May is Skin Cancer Awareness Month, and if you haven't been following me for a while, I actually had early stages of skin cancer removed while in Japan. I have some videos about that experience on my channel if you want to watch that out. So I'm really big on protecting your skin with sunscreen, wearing hats, and all that stuff. So it's really important to me, like, give me a white cast. I don't really care because I know that I need to protect my skin and my face because I've got Irish blood in me. Let's keep rubbing. Okay, I actually think that looks really good. I'm gonna start doing a little bit of makeup. I'm not doing a lot of makeup because I really want my skin to shine through, but I did want to show you that I picked this up since I've been here. The It Cosmetics CC Nude Glow. This has been my holy grail item. I think the one in the silver package has, but I like this one now too for like 7 years. So this is always my go-to foundation. I've had my sister mail this to me, but I did pick up some concealers that I'm going to use today because I'm so excited. Got these at did I just put that in my eye? I got these at Sephora. Tipping culture and going out to eat has been also a culture shock. I think I already mentioned like how expensive things are here, but I can give an example. Yesterday I went with my mother-in-law and we took my son to go get ramen because he was asking for it, and I really did not want to go do that because I knew it would not even, you know, why would I go eat Japanese food in the States when I literally live in Japan? I digress. We went and it cost us, it was $50. $50, I kid you not. I ordered a bowl of ramen, like their basic ramen, and it looked so ugly. It did not look good. It was bland. And all we got was one chicken curry rice and one ramen. And my ramen was the saddest, beigest, non-flavorful ramen I've ever had. And we got 2 fountain drinks and I tipped $50. That is crazy. That is crazy. I cannot even believe it. Like, actually kind of embarrassed to say that I even paid that for something like that, because that would have cost us $16 in Japan and it obviously would have been so much better. So I don't, many regrets. But with that being said, Something I have really missed is, you know, going out to eat and waiters and waitresses chit-chatting and stuff. I really liked that. I've obviously loved going to get Mexican food. That has been like my favorite thing to do so far. I've been really shocked by the sizes of everything. I feel like things actually got bigger. So whether it's food portions or like drink sizes, I just don't understand how anybody needs that much soda or anybody needs that much food. I understand that you can do takeaway food, which may be why like the portions and the prices, like maybe they do match because you get like double the food. I don't really know. But yeah, it's kind of been like almost disturbing in a way how big portions are here. Even like a small coffee or a small soda would be like a large in Japan. Sorry, I'm using the KOSAS concealer and I love this stuff. I have noticed that tipping culture has gotten out of hand here, and that's coming from somebody that worked in the service industry for like years. I worked in the service industry from like age 15 to, how old was I when I moved to Japan? Like 26 years old. That's how long I served tables and cocktail waitress. So that was like my income for such a long time. So I understand, but I mean, I just think it's crazy now. Like it's gotten out of hand. And I think that people should just be paying appropriate wages, right? When I was working in North Carolina as a waitress, we were getting paid $2.13 an hour. So we did like live off of our tips. So if we wanted to make more than minimum wage, we had to make tips. And the way that it would work is at the end of every pay period, every 2 weeks, if after we claimed our tips, we made more than $7.25 an hour, then the restaurant only had to pay us the $2 an hour. That was it. So I would get a paycheck from them, $2 something an hour. They only had to pay me $7.25 an hour if I made less than that in tips. And I just don't know how, or if that's still a thing. I think that if people are making minimum wage, I don't understand the tipping thing. I think that businesses shouldn't they be like paying the employees? Okay, wow, I'm really running out of this product. I don't understand tipping culture anymore. It's like confusing to me. People who live here have more to complain about than I do. Like I essentially feel like a visitor here, but we've just been tipping 20 to 25% on like every service because I just don't want to mess up or do the wrong thing. I don't know any better. I would love to know your guys' thoughts on the tipping culture here in the States, because I actually really do understand how people come here and then they're just like really confused about it, because even, you know, the last 5 years, it's even changed for me. So I feel like I don't know if I'm doing the right thing or not. I love this color so much. I had actually picked up a Rare Beauty blush. They had matched me when I went into the store and I did not like it. I think it's too pigmented for what I want and need. So I really like this one so much better. You know, with a little eyebrow pencil. I've done this earlier. I feel like this just helps frame my face so much more. I ended up buying like 3 bottles of this ILIA mascara because it is so good. I remember buying it years ago and I forgot how great it is. You guys are probably wondering if we like being back in the States, and I will say yes. It's actually surprised me how much I've enjoyed being here, even with the reverse culture shocks. It's kind of refreshing to see my own community and culture from a fresh point of view. It kind of puts a lot of things into perspective. I definitely can see ourselves moving back to the United States now that we're actually here visiting friends and family. I don't know when that will be, but I know that since we'd been away and removed from everything from such a long time, that we were kind of against moving back anytime soon. And that means like in the next like 2 to 3 years. I still think we're going to be in Japan for a while, but it has been so nice to be around family and friends and having our son here. It's his first time in the States. And I don't know how to explain it. Like, it just kind of feels normal and familiar in the best way possible. It has been really exciting to kind of daydream about what our life is going to look like when the day does come that we move back to the States. I really like being in Colorado. I really like being in the mountains. It's such a beautiful state. So if you guys live here or just like in mountainous areas, I just think that you're so lucky. It's such a great quality of life. But anyway, that is my finished skincare and makeup look. I hope that you guys liked it. I'll link a bunch of stuff below. Make sure you subscribe to follow more of my journeys, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!